back to a brand new video. I'm Carl here at Carl Stacey Guitar Tuition. Well, I'm not quite at Carl Stacey Guitar Tuition today, as in my studio that I teach from. As you'll see in the videos, I'm here at my little kind of home setup, as you can see in the background here. But the point still stands, and I wanted to mix things up a little bit, see how this looks, see how it sounds, see how it is. If it feels good, if it looks good, if it sounds good, I might do more videos like this in the future, because sometimes it's a little bit more accessible. If I have more time, sometimes at home, than I do at the studio and stuff like that, alright? So, today I want to target and talk about the 5 key things and the 5 key reasons why you suck at guitar, alright? So, I've done little short videos on this recently, but I'm going to go a little bit more in detail and in depth in this video here in the long form content, of course, alright? So, let's waste no time, let's jump straight in to reason number 1. Reason number 1 is weak vibrato, okay? This is something that you can really tell apart and really notice when it comes to like beginner guitar players, intermediate guitar players, expert guitar players, if you want to talk about kind of specific kind of levels in that way that I don't fully kind of agree with or abide by, but it's definitely something that exists in the guitar world, of course, and the learning world, so it's worth talking about. But weak vibrato really sets you apart, and you could be amazing at playing songs and keeping in time and doing all these cool, amazing stuff that you need to know and need to do. But if you've got weak vibrato, someone will pick that up, someone will hear that, someone will notice that. And it's definitely something that's worth targeting and working on. The 2 key main words that I tend to explain to people and describe to people in my lessons is subtlety and control, okay? You want to be really subtle with the vibrato, you don't want to over vibrato or anything like that, because it's very easily done and it can ruin and spoil the vibrato as well. And also the control of it is super important, because obviously you can't have the subtlety without the control and vice versa, okay? So as a little example, say you just got a note, I'm just going to pick a random note here. So you can see right there, subtlety control, right? I'm doing that, in some cases I'll do a 3rd finger vibrato as well, but in some cases you might do a 1st finger, index finger vibrato. So you really want to feel it, you really want to pivot that hand, you really want to have those tiny little increment movements back and forward. Doesn't want to be a bend, you don't want to bend the string. Obviously we're not doing bends, right? It's less than a bend, you are pulling on the string, you are bending the string, but it's not a bend, and there's a distinct difference there, of course. It's also worth working on things like this with a metronome as well to really get the timing and really nail that in, alright? 3rd finger vibrato. Same thing goes, of course, same case, same situation, just with the 3rd finger instead, which you'll end up doing a lot of the time, just like with bends, you'll end up doing a lot of 3rd finger bending as well. So, subtlety, control, metronome, do the work, put the work in, alright? I promise you it's worth it. Reason number 2 in this list here today is off bends, okay? Similar to vibrato, you can really set someone apart and really tell. You can be good at so many things, and then your bending can spoil that and can ruin that and really set you apart and make the difference to your overall guitar playing, yeah? So what I mean specifically by that, of course, you've got semitone bends and tone bends are the kind of 2 main ones, the 2 key ones. 2 examples right there, semitone followed by tone, right? So you really want to spend time focusing again on the control of it, the pivoting of the hand, where your thumb sits, these kinds of details, these kinds of things. If you're doing a tone bend, practicing reaching for the higher note. And really reaching it and make sure you're comfortable and it's controlled and you're getting that note exactly where it wants to be, exactly where it needs to be. Vice versa for a semitone, of course. So that's something I always recommend to students and to people, is to play the higher note, follow it by a bend, and get used to that kind of sweet spot and the control of how far you need to push it, where you need to push it, and just really spending time being really nit and gritty about these details. Maybe learn a guitar solo that has some vibrato, some bending in there that really forces you and pushes you to work on these techniques and to obviously get better at these techniques as well, of course. Alright, number 3 in this list here today is not muting strings. So this is a big one that students always bring up with me in lessons as well, actually. So, especially when you're playing through high gain tones, distortion in general, all those sorts of things, yeah, you really want to make sure that you're muting strings. So the 2 key main things I always explain to people here, you're either muting with the right hand or you're muting with the left hand or both. So what I mean by that is, say you're playing a power chord is the easiest example, okay? So you can see right there, I'm holding this power chord shape, I've just strummed all of the strings, but you're not hearing that string, you're not hearing those strings, specifically because this index finger is blocking that right here, and then the curve and the arch of that finger blocking the thin strings up at the top there as well. So you're not hearing anything but those 3 power chord notes, which are the integral notes that make the power chord, of course. And then in other instances, if you're doing a guitar solo, you're playing up top on the treble strings down here, playing things like this, right? When I'm doing things like that, I'm typically, right hand is almost placed almost like I'm palm muting, alright? Deliberately to block off noise of these extra strings here. And then sometimes I'll use this finger again, so when I did that rake on that high note there, you can see I'm blocking that off right here, right now. And then you can see with this right hand right here that I'm muting those strings up top here and really controlling it and working on the control of the whole situation. Alright, so spend some time working on those types of details as well. Number 4 on this list here today is the rhythm hand. Okay, I'm saying right hand here. If you're left-handed, of course, it's not the case. But you might hear people say this, you're only as strong as your rhythm hand when it comes to guitar playing, okay? It's cool being fast with legato and hammer-ons and pull-offs with the left hand movements, all that good stuff, which you'll use and which you'll need. But the rhythm hand really does matter and really does count. Because of all the previous things I've just mentioned, especially the previous point about the control of muting the notes, but also because of the control of muting the notes, but also when it comes to things like palm muting, punk music, metal music, all these sorts of things, it's really important to get them. Whether it's accurate down picking, accurate alternate picking like that, tremolo picking, any of these sorts of things, right? It's just rhythm in general, so when it comes to like strumming chords. You want to be accurate, you want to be precise, you want to be in time, and you really want to work that right hand to get that down. So again, recommend learning songs that target these specific things as well. Really helpful, really important. Alright, 5th and final point in this list here today is timing. Again, all of these points domino effect off each other at the end of the day, right? So timing is absolutely 100% everything when it comes to being a good guitar player and a successful guitar player. You want to be in time with other people, you want to be in time if you're in a band, you want to be in time if you're playing along with a backing track or any of those sorts of things as well. So really target, specifically work on your timing, alright? It is absolutely 100% everything, okay? So make sure that you work with a metronome to work on your timing, making sure that you're using backing tracks as much as you possibly can, whether it's improvisation or just the songs that you're playing and learning right now currently. And if you get the chance and the opportunity, not everyone does, but if you do, definitely playing with other people, whether it's a drummer, guitar player, bass player, any of these sort of things, right? Just trying to get out there and experience that and work on that. And just, because timing doesn't come natural to most people, if not a lot of people, right? Really fortunate for me that it kind of did come a little bit more naturally. That's one of my strengths as a guitar player, is rhythm and timing and things like that. Whereas I'm fully well aware that's not the case for a lot of other people, the majority of other people, especially the people that I work with on a daily basis in guitar lessons. So It's a really valid point to bring up and to talk about and go through here today, alright? So that is it. 5 reasons why guitar playing sucks and things to target specifically to practice playing, to work on going forward to fix those problems, okay? So once again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video here today. It's the last one of 2025 for me, unless you're watching this later in January, February, etc. But I've really enjoyed making videos this year and really enjoyed growing the channel and everything else. So thank you very much once again, and I'll see you all soon.